Have you ever been an associate dentist put in the position of needing to redo some dental work completed by another colleague at the dental office and felt stressed about how to handle this financial situation? If so, you're in good hands. Hi there, I'm Dr. Schick. I'm an associate dentist. I've got 3 different associateships under my belt and I've had to deal with this problem countless times, as well as helping other dentists deal with this. So I thought it was time that we had a brief discussion. To that end, if you watch the entire video today, you will learn the things to do and say to your colleague, as well, and probably more importantly, you'll learn the things to not do and say, which avoids putting yourself in a bad situation at work. Navigating the intricate web of finances when it comes to redoing dental work done by a colleague can be a very delicate dance. It requires some finesse, clear communication, and above all, a commitment to patient care and maintaining professional integrity. I always start by initiating a candid conversation with my colleague. It is crucial to first address the need for the redo with your colleague. Always approach the situation with empathy and professionalism while articulating the reasons why you think the work should be redone, while emphasizing the ultimate goal of patient satisfaction. From my personal experience, most remakes are truly not the other dentist's fault. Most, if not all, dentists are doing their best to put out great work on a routine basis. Every now and again, we all put something out into the world that just wasn't the best. We've all been there, we all know what I'm talking about. Other times, we do put out something great, and the patient treats that dental work like crud, and it goes from being good to bad much quicker than we all anticipated. However, the clinical problem develops, remakes are a part of dentistry, and that's why it's an important point of discussion for associates. Once you have communicated the necessity of the redo with your colleague, it's time to propose a collaborative solution. I always ask the colleague if they're willing to share the cost of the remake with me. The key word there is share. This not only shows a commitment to fairness, but it also sets a precedent up for mutual respect and professionalism. Always remember that building positive relationships within your dental team can be invaluable. Now, I know what you're thinking in your head, and it's what we're going to talk about next. This does become a much larger issue when we're talking about very costly dental work that needs to be redone. Think dentures, fixed bridges, implants, implant crowns, definitely full arch cases. I still think offering to redo the work at no cost to the patient and really so that the practice doesn't incur a negative is advisable. But splitting the cost with this doctor really doesn't make sense if they charge $10,000 for an upper arch and you got to remake that. So what you should do is offer to redo the work, meaning you donate your time at no cost. So they're still going to pay the lab for the remake of whatever prosthesis needs redone, but you're just going to donate your time to help alleviate the situation and the stress with the patient, provide that kind of band-aid barrier between you and the other provider, and just by donating your time, you can really loosen and alleviate the stress amongst everybody. I get it. You won't be collecting any monies if you're doing all this for free, and if you got stuck doing this all the time, this is certainly not a good practice for you. From my experience, I redo maybe 1 or 2 things a year, and it maintains that integrity within the office, and it's a true win-win. Again, this splits the pain of the remake between you and the other dental professional, and it maintains everybody's degree of professionalism, which is always my goal. Remember, maintaining professional relationships and prioritizing patient care should always be at the forefront of every successful practice. Now that we have discussed many of the things that I would encourage you to do when dealing with one of these sticky situations, I think it's equally as important to discuss what not to say and what not to do. The number one thing you should avoid doing is blaming or using accusatory language when speaking with the other provider. You should always avoid phrases that directly blame. You don't want to point, don't be talking to them like this, your filling failed, this needs redone. Don't accuse anybody of anything. As we all know, being accusatory often escalates tensions, and the damage in that professional relationship is likely unrepairable at that point. Next, and along the same lines, you should always avoid undermining their dental skills. To do this, steer clear of comments that talk about you always do fillings this way, or this thing done this way always does this. Just stay off the comment on the quality of the work and just talk about the reason for it needing to be redone. Like, there's a leaky margin, and I believe that this is going to form a massive caries that could result in a root canal. I think it just needs a new filling. I personally avoid any language that makes it feel personal. I don't want this to be at all personal. Again, focus on the specific issue at hand regarding the dental work that needs to be done without delving into personal matters. Focus on the patient, the work, and not the partners that are involved in the problem. Lastly, you should avoid refusing to listen. You should always listen to their perspective. Avoid being dismissive of your colleague's perspective or feelings regarding the situation. Active listening and considering their point of view, again, fosters a collaborative and constructive work environment. You also might find out something like, oh, that margin is open because the patient couldn't open or rotate their jaw. So sometimes there's a good reason for something, and you might want to find that out before you dive into the remake yourself. As you can see, navigating the waters of redoing dental work requires professionalism and respect while avoiding conflict at all costs. Please comment with your strategies for handling these sticky situations in the comments below. If there's anything you'd like to hear more about, please comment that as well. For more insights tailored specifically to associate dentists, you can find much more at any of my social media pages at The Educated Associate. You can also book free consultations and find much more information about me or how I want to help associates on my website at theeducatedassociate.com. Please reach out to me at any of those forums. And as always, stay drilling, my friends.